This movie was a hot pile of garbage. I'm breaking down why Return to Silent Hill sucked so bad, and what the rating actually means before you pass that popcorn. If you haven't seen this movie and you want to go in blind, be warned because the story and the reasons for the rating contain spoilers.
You have been warned.
Now, let's get this party started.
I mean, really, let's do this, Mother!
First up is the acting and the details, which I give a 1 out of 10. I hate horror movies, and I only watched this one because it's a video game adaptation, and I really wish I hadn't. The only things this movie has going for it is a good-looking lead, a decent atmosphere, and Pyramid Head. But honestly, I've seen way better cosplays of this man than what they did here with a big-budget movie.
That's just sad.
Also, the CGI in this movie was so shockingly bad. What makes it worse is that the nurses and other monsters were played by real dancers. Yet instead of letting those performances shine, they just slathered them with CGI. Like, you wouldn't know that they were real people unless you looked it up. What a waste. The acting is also painfully corny.
Yikes.
And yes, some of that comes down to the script, but it's not all because of it. The dialogue and the way it was acted was stiff, overdramatic, and just weak, especially the voiceover work. The movie isn't even scary. It's just flat and uninspired. If you can't scare me, then you have not made a good horror movie.
You lose!
I didn't even need a palate cleanser afterward. That's how bad it was. I mean, the first FNAF movie was scarier than this, and it was PG-13. If you told me this movie was made by a bunch of high schoolers, I'd believe you.
This is trash.
Now for the story and script, which I give a 1 out of 10. The only things this movie shares with the game are the main character's name, Pyramid Head and the nurses, the fact that he killed his partner, and the town of Silent Hill. That's it. This is a very bad adaptation that just misses the point. Basically like Until Dawn or Uncharted.
Well, this sucks.
By radically changing the fundamentals of the source material, this movie creates a mess of contradictions and unanswered questions. For example, turning Mary into a cult member that was abused by her father completely undermines James's guilt. In the game, his psychological torment comes from his resentment over his wife's illness, even killing her because of it.
No kidding.
In the movie, she's poisoned, abused, and actually asks him to kill her. That changes everything. Murder is still wrong, obviously, but this change doesn't carry the same weight, and it shouldn't torture him so deeply. The condensed plot for the movie doesn't help either. You barely care about anyone in this movie, even James, because the movie gives you no reason to care. So without that, the emotional stakes are non-existent. On top of that, the movie is painfully cliche and predictable from start to finish.
Lame!
Even if you've never played the game, it's immediately obvious that it's all in his head, that the women represent Mary, and that Pyramid Head represents James. In the game, these notions were held close to the chest until the big reveal.
It was you all along.
The plot is also riddled with logic holes, and the ending is so super unclear and pointless. This movie would have been far better if it just respected the original story and didn't turn Silent Hill into some bizarre cult-based fever dream.
What is happening?
Here's your spoiler warning, guys, because now we're getting into the reasons for the rating. This movie is billed as an R-rated horror mystery, which, yeah, the rating fits, but the genre doesn't. So let's talk about that.
Drugs and alcohol.
I believe that James was smoking weed in the first scene, and he drinks beer and liquor because he's an alcoholic. Also, he drives drunk.
Language.
There were 11 F words, 8 S words, 6 A words, 3 heavy uses of blasphemy, and 1 other. It's not terrible, but you also have to consider there wasn't a lot of dialogue in this movie.
I have questions.
If Mary was drugged and forced to stay in the cult, how did she have enough agency to leave Silent Hill in the enticing incident? Also, what makes James so connected to Mary? She's just a girlfriend. In real life, you walk away when your partner deals with effigies, altars, and blood rituals. Plus, what's up with that ending? Is this for real or just some kind of death dream? There are a lot of monsters in this movie, some that spit acid, some that force their hands down your throat, some that are just an arachnophobe's worst nightmare, and some that caress your thighs before swallowing you into a mattress. Yes, that happened.
Room full of nightmares. Not going in there.
Also, if you're sensitive to creepy crawlies, probably don't watch this movie. Bugs, roaches, and moths show up constantly. The cult stuff is especially unsettling, with demonic rituals, weird flashbacks, and a really bloody scene.
This is not up to code.
Also, one manifestation of Mary was cut by a nurse and then ran right through by Pyramid Head's sword. Add in drowning flashbacks, a living baby doll that just gives you the heebie-jeebies, and even on-screen vomiting, you got yourself the whole package. Except none of it was actually scary. It was just
So cliche.
overall, I give this movie a 1 out of 10. I genuinely wish I could give this a 0, because this movie was absolute hot garbage. Just a waste of time, money, and brain space.
I don't want to see that or think of it again.
What makes it even worse is knowing that this is exactly the movie that this director wanted to make. He even claimed to love the story and the game. Where is that love? No, for real, because it is nowhere on screen. A person who loves something enough to spend time, effort, and money on making an adaptation doesn't butcher it this thoroughly.
Yuck, I'm gonna vomit.
This type of movie only comes from someone who doesn't actually know the source material or is arrogant enough to think that they can do it better. Anyone who loves horror movies will want to stay far away from this movie. Anyone who loves the game will want to stay even further from it. And anyone who just likes movies or is a Christian, do yourself a favor and just pretend this doesn't exist.
Wrap that up and give it to a child on Christmas, because we're done.
Hey, don't go yet, there's still more to see. Click right here to check out my most recent review on Mercy. It was an okay watch, but it wasted a lot of its potential. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and just remember, once you pass the popcorn to me, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I'll see you later. Bye!